Y'all doing? So to go along with what we've talked about this week and stuff, being INFJ, being empath, being neurodivergent, I talked about how I project the best intentions on other people, and many times I've gaslighted myself when it comes to their behavior. I'm so understanding and empathetic, especially regarding people's background, what they grew up with, the dysfunction, the toxicity, so on and so forth. And I give people the benefit of the doubt, and I make excuses and justifications for them. And that's something I've been working on, in the last couple of years especially. I've been working on that. But as I had said, I'd rather project the best intentions than the worst, because I'd rather do that than the alternative, because being so paranoid and being so negative about everyone around and being so mistrustful and stuff, that's not a life I want to live. So it's just kind of finding that fine line between where you're understanding and empathetic, but at the same time, you do realize and accept that these people have a responsibility to deal with their issues. If you've been brought up in a toxic or dysfunctional home and stuff, that is not an excuse for your awful behavior. You need to get therapy, you need to get help, so on and so forth, take responsibility and face your own accountability. And I'm finding a lot that there's a large group in that, a subsect of that group that has gone through toxic, dysfunctional, growth, in their home life due to parents, siblings, so on and so forth, that end up doing awful things to other people and justifying it because it's what they know, it's what they've experienced, it's what they've seen, and they haven't stepped out of that world to see that their own behavior is just a mirror or reflection of what they've received in their life. And since they don't like what they've received, other people aren't going to like what they're putting out. So just something to think about. Have an awesome Friday. Think about these things. We're all grown-ups. These are things we have to deal with. And like I said, when it comes to trauma, when it comes to dysfunction and toxic growing up and stuff like that, we have to take responsibility, and we need to do what we need to do to repair that in ourselves so that we are not spreading that to other people. And then, like I said, making excuses for ourselves. So have an awesome weekend. You're an awesome, amazing human being, and I love you so much. Peace out. Bye.